We all love an underdog, but it's safe to say that Hell's Kitchen viewers love a villain too. Each season, there's a contestant that wins the unwanted title of Most Hated Chef, and we've put together a rundown of them all. In Season 1, Jeff LaPoff quit his job in the insurance industry to chase his dream of running a restaurant. But after struggling to work on a line and complaining about a kidney stone for much of the first 2 episodes, Jeff wasn't popular with the red team, or anyone else.
Jeff, your performance as a waiter, no one liked you. In fact, 2 out of 3 of the tables walked out early.
He was called out repeatedly on his laziness, dismissive attitude, and sexist remarks. But Jeff finally blew his stack over Gordon's criticisms of his ability. He stormed out of the kitchen on day 3, shortly after announcing that he wouldn't do just that.
No. Finish out service. Oh, really? Why? Because I'm not a quitter. You're not a quitter. Hey, you're not a fucking cook either.
He was the first contestant ever to withdraw from the competition without being eliminated, and during a dinner service. And Gordon really wasn't happy. Following a shoving match in the parking lot between the two, Jeff withdrew completely from the show with an unexplained ankle injury. He later received a $124,000 settlement when he attempted to sue the production company over the incident with Ramsay. Jeff still describes himself as an accomplished chef on his resume and shares images of himself in the kitchen, but he's no longer a professional chef, and after a period as a used car salesman, has returned to the insurance industry. In Season 2, 43-year-old Tom Paulie was one of the oldest contestants, but sadly lacked the experience needed to make it through the season. He made quite an impression on Chef Ramsay during the signature dish challenge, serving Gordon a cooked Caesar salad while sweating profusely.
Good, you're very sweaty. You all right?
I'm a schwetzer. I sweat. I sweat all the time. I'm a schwetzer.
His relationship with Gordon got worse rather than better, and he was called out for standing around like a fat slob. Tom wasn't ready to take that lying down.
Who do you think you're talking to? He doesn't want to get in a street fight with me, trust me.
2 scuffles in 2 seasons might have been too much even for Ramsay. Paulie wasn't popular with his team either because of his inconsistent performance and lack of accountability. He became the first contestant to be nominated 3 times in a row. Instead of achieving his dream of winning a restaurant role, Tom became a motivational speaker. Sadly, Tom passed away in July 2023, aged 60. He was proud of his kitchen skills until the very end, introducing himself on Facebook as the world's greatest chef. When Tiffany Nagel joined the 3rd season of Hell's Kitchen, she was determined that simple, hard work would help her win the competition. But her all-female red team needed to come together to beat the boys. And Tiffany failed to cooperate with teammates, despite promising to keep the backstabbing to a minimum.
We all want to win, so if we're not working together as a team, we're all screwed.
Tiffany's negative and confrontational attitude made her unpopular with the other chefs, and she was her team's 2nd nomination for elimination after a shaky first night performance. But she was confident she wouldn't be leaving the process.
It has to be Julie. She works at the fucking Waffle House. I mean, come on.
When it came to the crunch, Gordon decided that she simply wasn't passionate enough, and let her go at the end of episode 1. Ramsay's sharp mouth and her early exit from the show didn't put her off from appearing on TV in the future. After leaving the show, Tiffany returned to her family restaurant, which she was planning to take over with the help of her 3 sisters. They pitched the idea of a reality TV show based around the family restaurant to TV execs. The restaurant is still open, but the show never happened. Season 4 gave us one of the most unpopular chefs ever to appear on Hell's Kitchen, Jason Underwood. From the outset, his arrogant and sexist attitude irritated viewers.
I'll be damned if I'm gonna lose to a team of girls. The only thing I'm gonna lose to a woman is like an ironing contest.
His fellow chefs were forced to deal with his laziness and entitlement in the kitchen, and Jason's sexist comments continued throughout the time on the show. His attitude towards the female chefs didn't improve, even after they proved themselves by winning dinner service.
We've embarrassed male chefs all over the world today. Well, it's on now. There's no way in hell I'm losing to girls again.
When Jason embarrassed himself by failing to remember the names of the desserts he was making, Ramsay sent him back to the dorms. He reappeared feeling ready to quit, but struggled through the service before he was nominated, and eliminated that night. As always, Jason had a theory about why his time was up, and it was the girls' fault.
The last girls that got put up on the block, they start crying. Well, maybe if I would have cried like some old pansy, some chick, maybe I'd be back upstairs chilling right now.
When he left Hell's Kitchen, Jason did so without the pockets of cash and armfuls of girls he predicted he'd gain from the experience. After some time in Vegas, he no longer works in the industry, though he didn't seem to let the online haters affect him. Even though Lacy DAngelo's cooking skills were pretty impressive, no one wanted Lacy in their team during Season 5 because of her constant whining and complaining. The red team struggled with her negativity, bad attitude, and laziness, which was no surprise to Lacy.
I knew this was gonna happen. I'm just so sick of stupid bitches. Every time I work in a kitchen with women.
After refusing to take part in punishments and repeatedly threatening to quit, her teammates were relieved when she was transferred from the red to the blue team. But there was no fresh start or change of attitude. Instead, Lacy just had a new set of people to argue with.
I'm sick of taking shit from you people. It's stopping now. I quit.
When Gordon finally lost his temper and eliminated her mid-service during episode 8, there was zero sympathy from the other chefs, or Ramsay himself. Lacy reflected that her biggest mistake was ignoring some important advice from her family.
My mom told me when I came here, don't make enemies. And that's the first thing I did and kept doing.
Lacy is often mentioned as being one of the worst ever contestants on Hell's Kitchen. She no longer works as a chef, despite being pretty competent. She obviously has a pretty thick skin, as she was quoted after the show saying that she wished Gordon had yelled at her more. Season 6 of Hell's Kitchen featured a number of big personalities who caused big problems for their teammates. Suzanne Schlit immediately decided that her fellow contestants weren't quite as knowledgeable as her.
Obviously, I was thrown in a kitchen with a bunch of circus clowns.
She took pride in her position as the season's know-it-all chef, and wasn't afraid to defend her cooking to anyone, even Chef Ramsay.
Even before I start to taste it, the rice looks undercooked.
I definitely don't believe so, at all.
Despite Gordon calling her out on mistakes, she often wouldn't admit fault in the kitchen, and her arrogance irritated her team and the viewers at home. She even refused to accept Gordon's decisions without an argument.
Right, that was close. Ladies, you were beaten by the sides.
Chef, can I get a play-by-play on that?
Suzanne left after finishing 5th in her season, and fans were quick to let her know how they felt, causing her to leave social media and the entire industry. Scott Haley entered Season 7 with complete confidence that he was going to win, thanks to his fine dining experience, which he mentioned at every opportunity. And the program editors enjoyed sharing his arrogant statements alongside his kitchen mishaps.
I would be embarrassed to finish second place.
I mean, it's, rather pathetic.
Scott's aggressive temper and confrontational attitude made him unpopular with the other contestants, along with his constant meddling in other chefs' stations.
You can only work with the teammates that you're given, but it's difficult when you're working with people that don't have a lot of talent or skill in a fine dining restaurant.
He didn't quite make it to second place, instead finishing 11th, which came as quite a shock as he considered himself a crucial part of his team.
This team will fucking die if I'm not here.
Scott, give me a jacket.
Scott and his wife have since opened a series of successful New York restaurants, so it looks like he found someone he can work with. Sabrina's Hell's Kitchen experience began with an argument with Chef Ramsay during the signature dish challenge, when he called her out for yawning and nicknamed her Baby Spice.
I haven't even tasted your food. Already, I'm pissed with you.
I got tired. I don't care. I'm not scared of you, Chef Ramsay. I'm not.
Her relationship with her team started just as badly, and she was nominated for elimination by Melissa on day 1, which she didn't take lying down.
No! You are a little pussy-ass bitch! Yeah, you deserve to fucking go! If you're an executive chef, you ain't done better than me at all!
She was highly critical of other contestants, and was accused of manipulating the other chefs and creating unnecessary drama over the simplest of issues.
Lisa's been cooking for 30 years. How long does it take to learn how to cook scallops? I guess longer than 30 years.
While viewers labeled her petty, disrespectful, and immature, Sabrina was proud of her feisty side, and felt that fighting everyone to stay in the contest helped her get through to week 11, even if she was the most nominated chef that season. Sabrina was approached to return for All-Stars, but she chose not to take part. Maybe she'd had enough of her role as villainess. One of the most infamous Hell's Kitchen contestants ever first appeared in Season 9. Elise Harris became known for her constant clashes with teammates and her toxic attitude in the kitchen.
You're a trifling ass bitch.
Are you kidding me?
I'm about to show you, bitch.
You don't have to yell at me. I'm right
You better
here.
get out of my face.
She instigated rivalries and feuds that shaped the show, dragging Carrie into drama and confrontation at every turn.
The mere sight of Carrie irritates me. Dang, back up off my arm, dog.
While she was a great chef, she was also one of the most offensive contestants in the show's history. Not only did she refuse to take responsibility for any of her mistakes, she used the opportunity to try to blame others. After making it to the Final Four in her first season, she reappeared as one of Season 17's All-Stars, by which time she seemed to be enjoying her role as the show's villain even more, targeting her new nemesis, Michelle, at every opportunity.
Let the games begin. I'm coming for you, so you better bring all that shit every fucking day.
I'm ready.
Her rude and abrasive behavior helped her take the record for the most overall nominations in the history of the show, receiving 7 in her first season and 5 when she returned 6 years later for All-Stars. In this case, all publicity was good publicity, as Elise now regularly appears on cookery shows as a TV chef while running a food delivery business. She clearly still loves her role as a tough cookie and powerful contender, as she spends her spare time at bodybuilding contests. Low standards and a hot temper were a dangerous combination for Tiffany in Season 10. Her arrogance and failure to work with a team caused her unpopularity both on the show and with viewers at home. Her lazy ways included belching around the kitchen, cooking dishes in dirty pans, and serving children burnt pizza.
It's burnt, look. Just cut that part off. Who gives a shit?
I really don't like kids at all.
While there were other controversial figures on that season, in particular Barbie and Robin, Tiffany is known as the most unlikable character, and the one who is usually involved in confrontations.
You're about to get choked out. Knock it off. Grow up. You're 33. I'm not about to get choked. Yeah.
Tiffany was the first chef to get kicked out of the kitchen by sous chef Andy, and finally left in week 10 because Chef Ramsay didn't believe she was passionate enough. She hadn't helped her own case.
I care a scale of 1 to 10, like a 9.
In Season 11, Jeremy Madden overpromised and underdelivered, sending him home in 16th place. He was the youngest in the season, and his lack of experience and maturity often shone through.
And I'm getting that stupid restaurant in Vegas, and I'll be better than everybody else, and they'll know it.
His inconsistent skills frustrated his teammates, and he shares the record for doing the most Hell's Kitchen punishments without experiencing a reward. Jeremy was easily confused and struggled with the most basic communication on the line.
3 halibut, 1 bass, 1 chicken. What are we going with?
The three halibut, the two.
He refused help from teammates, but continued to make constant mistakes, including sending up a sample plate of scrambled eggs to the pass. Gordon announced that it was unforgivable, and it led to his elimination from the show, despite being on the winning team. When he left Hell's Kitchen, Jeremy took off his chef's hat and became a general manager in a pizzeria instead. He never did get that stupid restaurant in Vegas. Military man Mike Aresta came in hot to Season 12, taking Gordon's criticism of his signature dish badly. Chef Ramsay tossed his packaged tortellini and tinned tomato sauce dish in the trash, causing Mike to complain about the decision to his teammates. But he refused to repeat his comments to the judge himself.
You got anything to say to me? Say it to my face, not my back.
You got it.
And fuck off.
Yeah. Mike was more confident with his criticism of his fellow contestants, displaying a cocky and disrespectful attitude, and frequently personally attacking others, though it never quite tipped into a physical altercation. When he was nominated in week 4, Mike requested a transfer to the blue team, though the women on that side were not all that keen to have him. Gordon eliminated him for his poor attitude, which he displayed once again when he refused to shake Ramsay's hand on the way out. Following the show, Mike admitted he was disappointed that he was only one of the most hated contestants, and wanted the most hated title. Having worked in what he described as some pretty tough kitchen environments, Aaron Lmen wasn't scared to enter Hell's Kitchen. He had strong opinions about his teammates' abilities, which unfortunately for him didn't match up to the judges' decisions.
If I had to describe Sterling's crab cake in one word, it'd be fast food.
A lack of focus led to silly mistakes, and poor communication sabotaged his team's timings, made worse when he pushed away offers of help.
Hey, fuckface! Hey! Yes, chef? Fucking come here! How long are you gonna keep it all back? Get it together!
He didn't accept assistance easily, and his poorly timed and immature jokes did little to win his fellow contestants over. Still, nobody expected him to withdraw from the competition during elimination, least of all Chef Ramsay.
As much as I'd love to run a restaurant for you, I'd love to be a Michelin star chef, but I don't think winning Hell's Kitchen is actually going to get me any closer to my goal.
His arrogant and disrespectful exit just added to the hate for him. But he was proud of his time on the show, and held a viewing party to celebrate his early exit. Season 14's Monnique had managed to upset other contestants before they even arrived at Hell's Kitchen.
I'm from Jamaica. You're from Jamaica? You're cool. Do you guys have like a native language? Or like that
Well, we speak.
And she quickly annoyed Chef Ramsay, too. During the signature dish challenge, he was surprised by her choice of pasta ingredients.
Tell me about the marinara sauce. I want to know how you made it.
It's just from a jar.
Monnique defended Gordon's criticism, telling him that no one outside of Italy makes pasta sauce from scratch. This level of ignorance added to her incompetence, led some viewers to accuse her of being a plant. In the face of any criticism, Monnique became known for delivering personal attacks against her teammates, which caused anger and frustration, and created division.
Like, what a bitch move. I can't stand Allison. Your accent's stupid, your makeup's stupid, you're stupid.
The team did come together in the end to let Chef Ramsay know that they no longer wanted Monnique around. She was eliminated in 14th position, and, predictably, blamed the other women for her poor performance, not the pre-prepared pasta sauce. We should probably let proud Jersey girl Jackie Fused introduce herself.
I am the epitome of Jersey. I'm tough, I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, I will kick your ass and suck your dick all in the same time.
With just 3 months' experience in the kitchen, Jackie came in with complete confidence in her own ability, and a mouth that could get her into trouble, fast. Her constant gross comments when her teammates were trying to focus created a difficult atmosphere in the kitchen.
I'm getting really irritated right now.
I don't care at this point, okay? Dirty hooker.
But Jackie took the bad behavior a step further, and many viewers felt she should have been removed from the show when she got physical with Kristen, dumping an ashtray over her to provoke a fight.
Put your hands on me.
Jackie,
Put your hands on
you're
me.
a piece of fucking shit.
Put your hands
Get the
on
fuck
me.
out of my
Put
face.
your hands on me.
Jackie was also confrontational with Chef Ramsay and refused to follow instructions in the kitchen, so her elimination in 8th place didn't come in a moment too soon for many fans, and most of her fellow contestants. She headed back to the New Jersey pizza bar she came from to continue her steep learning curve as a chef. Hot-headed Matt Hearn was the most hated season 16 contestant and caused controversy both on and off the screen. He was prone to erratic behavior and emotional outbursts, and refused to take part in punishments, threatening to leave instead of working with his team to do anything he felt was beneath him.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit when nobody says, I'm not doing it, yo.
You're bitching about everything.
Fuck you. I'm not on that level.
Matt also showed minimal respect for Chef Ramsay and his guest judges, particularly when they dared to criticize his food.
A little too much heat for me.
What the fuck do they know? That's why they're running burger joints.
Matt was eventually eliminated at the end of episode 10 during a double eviction with Shayna. Chef Ramsay's final advice was to point the finger at himself when things go wrong, instead of looking for someone else to blame. He didn't seem to be listening.
The whole time I've been here, it's been nothing but disrespect. If I was on the street right now and he came up to me with that same shit, I'd fuck him up, point blank.
Matt was an extremely unpopular contestant and wasn't invited back to take part in the final service after threatening Gordon. He also went on to have a public fallout with season 15 contestant Haden, which quickly turned into racist slurs. Matt told Haden to go back to running his 7-Eleven and claimed that black people couldn't get jobs in local gas stations because of his people. Matt still works in the industry as culinary director at an axe-throwing venue. We hope they don't expect him to make burgers. Robin Elmo Devar first appeared in season 10 and made quite an impression with her fiery temper and angry confrontations with other contestants.
You better fucking watch who you fucking call him bitch. Get in my face. I am in your fucking face. Hit me, dog. Bye-bye.
It is ugly.
When she returned for season 17 as an all-star, she was more passive-aggressive than all-out aggressive, but she yet again failed to work well with her team or take any accountability for her mistakes, though she celebrated others.
What was that, chef? You just got a mouthful of salt because Elise put her shells too far in the salt?
Robin made it to Black Jackets in both her seasons, and her ability as a chef wasn't an issue. She was disliked for her love of drama, which she tried so hard to control.
If you want to see fucking Brooklyn come out, Sunset Park will come out, but I'm not about that this time.
Robin!
Following her appearance on Hell's Kitchen, Robin received a torrent of online abuse, a lot of it homophobic. She didn't let that put her off living in the limelight, and went on to appear in Chopped and Cutthroat, winning her episodes on both. Widely regarded as the biggest bully ever to take part in the show, Scott Lee Innes took an instant dislike to his nemesis Trev, and criticized him whenever possible. He was called out by viewers for repeatedly taunting Trev, even when his fellow contestant was having treatment for an allergic reaction while shucking corn.
Where Prima Donna at, man? He's still getting his pussy looked at. You alright, baby girl?
And despite getting so furious at Trev for taking time out for the punishment, Scott Lee wasn't known for pulling his weight, even without medical intervention. His arrogance, laziness, and childish behavior toward the other chefs made him one of the least popular contestants ever across any season. Scott Lee got a taste of his own medicine when the show aired, and he received a lot of online hate for his taunting of Trev. But it didn't stop him. He was adamant that he hadn't bullied Trev, but started referring to him as Tree in response to haters. Striding into Hell's Kitchen with confidence, Amber Lancaster quickly let the other contestants know about her cordon bleu training, her experience working for some of the world's best chefs, and her intention to win.
You haven't managed a staff that large. You're stepping into your first sous chef role. You're not gonna beat everybody in the end and get the job.
As the competition grew, Amber crumbled. Instead of her ability, she became known for whining, crying, and complaining, and she was less than grateful for the blue team's warm welcome when she was moved across to even up the numbers.
I'm not into losing.
What the fuck? We won the last dinner service.
Amber could always find someone else to blame, and often cited sexism as a reason for any decision she didn't like, including being moved off the chicken station when she served raw meat in the final.
Amber, Cody,
Yes,
switch station.
Yes, chef.
It's just so annoying because it's like, boy toy to the rescue.
After leaving Hell's Kitchen, Amber went to work with fellow contestant Nikki, as well as taking roles in more prestigious restaurants. It seems that she took a big lesson away for her 15 minutes of fame and made it her new motto: there's no crying in the kitchen. Food vlogger Matthew Francis Johnson joined season 20's Young Guns and was eliminated on opening night without a plea. He displayed incompetence in the kitchen from the very start.
I'm a big lover of shrimp, but I'm not very good at eating shrimp and the shit sack.
Oh no.
He then went on to serve raw chicken and raw lamb. But rather than the mistake itself, it was Matthew's attitude that infuriated Chef Ramsay.
It's Brett, oh fuck, pass me a lot. It's not funny, Matthew.
But viewers really lost their cool with Matthew for the ultimate Hell's Kitchen sin, cheating.
This is only at 118. This is back in. This is only at 118.
Matthew pulls out a digital thermometer. Where the hell did we get digital thermometers?
Chef Ramsay had seen enough, and Matthew was out, without being given the chance to fight for his spot. Matthew actually went up in many people's estimations after leaving the show. Once his brief stint in Hell's Kitchen aired, he went online to thank his friends for their support, and showed he was a gracious loser by admitting he wasn't ready for the experience he'd been given. Season 21's most hated contestant had a pretty low profile for the first few weeks, but the battle of the ages led 40-something Tara to turn on her 20-something team. When her friend and co-chef Mindy left, Tara felt isolated amongst the younger contestants, and her mood and attitude dramatically shifted.
Now you're with a 20-year-old.
I'm sorry. I know it sucks.
I feel like you guys are all against me.
Tara was feeling even more pressure to perform alongside the younger women, which led to inconsistent communication and a chaotic atmosphere. She was so convinced that the other chefs, who she described as catty, were out to get her, that she allowed her performance to be affected. But she couldn't accept that her issues were her own fault.
You've been gunning for me since day one this team. Because you're weak?
I'm not a weak fucking chef, Cheyenne.
Tara can't have been too traumatized by the Hell's Kitchen experience, as she returned to the restaurant as a guest in season 23. And despite insisting that her team hated her, they are all friends. Even Cheyenne, who posted online that they didn't mesh on the show, but get on fine now. Arrogant, delusional, and just plain unlikable. That's some of the common words used to describe season 22's Jason Haden. He couldn't even take constructive criticism from Gordon, and would always answer back when he was confronted with a mistake.
You had these 2 steaks and you're smearing them with cold butter and sticking it in the oven.
These steaks were resting.
When Gordon kept Jason in the contest after his 5th nomination, there was an outcry from viewers. Their fury was only matched by the disbelief of his fellow contestants, who he had thrown under the bus just minutes earlier.
Being up there 5 times and you're back here, that's a joke.
Yeah, we'll deal with it, chef.
Yeah, right. Well, step up. You're an executive chef.
His attempts to fit in with the red team didn't go smoothly either, after his petty criticism of their bread-making techniques.
I was pretending it was your face when I was kneading it.
Yeah, so now I can punch myself.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jason was finally eliminated in week 11, failing to get a black jacket, but bringing joy to viewers who were starting to worry it would never happen. Away from the show, Jason recollected his relationships differently, saying that his teammates were like a fraternity, just friends giving each other a hard time for laughs. In the latest season of Hell's Kitchen, 23, Egypt Davis struggled to fit in with his team from the very beginning. While he was trying to show leadership and confidence, it came across to the other chefs as arrogance and micromanagement.
Little worried about Egypt and his ego being like too abrasive.
Check him. Check. I will. The ones that went in first.
The passionate chef soon became isolated from the group, and after 3 nominations in the first 3 weeks, he was very aware that he wasn't popular and had little support. The father of young children started struggling with homesickness and considered withdrawing until Chef Ramsay gave him a private pep talk.
I have no idea why they want you out. I see something in you that they don't. I still believe in you.
Egypt stayed in the competition and raised his game. He received the final black jacket of the season.
The final black jacket. Congratulations goes to Egypt.
By the time he finished the competition in 3rd place, many viewers had changed their minds about him. But Egypt still received a lot of hate when the show aired. Despite that, he is still wearing his Hell's Kitchen jacket with pride, and believes his big voice and big personality were just misunderstood